Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the HollingsWorthless Program podcast. This will be for Wednesday, December 11th. As always, I'm your host, Big Irish J. Hollingsworth. No Phil Fox, no Fox like the animal, not the co-host. Fox the mostest. I'm going to try and get him back next week to talk about the hiatus he's been on. But I do have a guest with me, local comic. Should we go over all your credits before I give your name?
I don't have any, like...
Perfect. Justin, how do you say your last name? I always fuck it up.
It's Tietjen.
Tietjen. Justin Tietjen. Give a round of applause. All right, cool. Yeah, thanks, everybody. Our live audience.
Yeah, go fuck. God.
Jesus, fucking, what an awful guest already cursing at me. No, so Justin, for those listening or watching and listening, Justin is a Phoenix comic, right?
Yeah.
You started here in Phoenix.
Yeah, like six and a half years ago.
6.5?
Yeah.
And I seen Justin, when was the first time I met you?
Probably here.
Was it here at this?
Like, I mean, first time I saw you, and then also met you, because I think you never go anywhere else. Right?
What do you mean?
I mean, like other mics, you normally stick to this one.
I mean,
I've never really seen you at
I've done the Devil's Advocate.
Have I seen you there?
I guess maybe you should go there more often. How about that? I did the
I'm
one.
sorry, I come here to CB Live.
Okay, I just did House of Comedy's mic last 2 days or last week.
Yeah.
I did the mic at what's it, Merkin mic at that Irish bar.
Is that still going?
No. But I mean, that just shows you all the ones I'm on. I did the lounge.
Okay.
So it seems like there's quite a bit that I go to. Interesting.
I've tried to get on the lounge, but they haven't hit me back.
You want me to put in a word?
Yeah.
I'll put in a word for you. Anyway, so I met Justin, I guess, here at CB Live. It's just since he doesn't go to other mics. And Justin's very funny. And, dude, I think one of our first interactions was I was like flipping you shit. And I don't think you knew if you could flip me shit back or not until one time it was like you fucking snapped. And you were like, why don't you fucking improve your fucking jokes? You just keep going up there and bombing.
Oh, that
was
one,
great.
Because I don't know what was the first instance you're talking about.
I don't know. I mean, I think that was it.
But I remember, yeah, I gave you shit about like something about an open mic and
coming here and bombing, which I do all the time.
And you bombed, and
Always.
then I forget what happened, and then I said, "Why don't you do Sydney's set? That's how you would do better, right?"
Yeah.
And then, and then that started like a friendship, I guess.
Well, let's not go too far.
Okay.
No, but so Justin, so we do this mic here at CB Live every Monday, and after the mic, we hang out. Some of the comics stay, and then Casey, the booker, stays, and we're here till like 1, 2 in the morning.
Yeah. Well, I tried to leave at like 12 because I'm in Mesa.
Oh fuck.
And I get up at 6:30.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You're young, right?
31.
Ooh.
So yeah, young,
Yikes.
I guess.
I'm just fucking with you. Now, but yeah, Justin's very funny, and I wanted to have him on the podcast. Now, you, so anybody that's listening to this, you have a speech impediment.
Yeah, I have a speech impediment. I also have a disability, muscular dystrophy. And
Right.
I also used to have pectus. It's where, like, let's say you punch someone in the chest and you put a dent in their chest.
Right.
It's like that's what pectus is. It's your chest is incaved.
Were you born with that?
Yeah.
And then did you get it fixed?
Yeah.
How do they fix that?
So it's what they did is they...
Oh, God, are you going to tell me they, like, crack your fucking chest?
No.
Oh.
That's how they used to do it. Like, they used to do it like open heart surgery, going through the top, break a couple of ribs and stuff like that. But the doctor we went to, Dr. Nuts, was in
Wait.
Norfolk, Virginia.
Dr. what?
Nuts.
Oh.
N-U-S-S.
I thought you said Dr. Nuts.
That would have been hilarious. And then my other doctor was Dr. Cohen.
Let's move on.
Anyways, the doctor up there did 2 incisions on each side.
Yeah.
And he would slide in these 2 bars and then flip them. And then it would pop out my chest.
Oh.
And then I would have to have... You would either have 2 or 1 bars depending on how deep it was. Mine was pretty deep. And so I had 2 in, and I had to have them in for 3 years.
Okay, hold on. I want to make sure I understand this. So your chest is concave. Is that how you say it?
Yep.
It's concave. It's dented in, however you want to put it. And the way they fix that is they put bars in from the side.
Yeah.
And then what do they like? And then they slowly like push it out.
Well, they slide them in like this. I don't know, and then they flip
Wait,
'em.
hold on.
So it's weird. They it's like so the bars are like this, and then they flip it so it pops out.
Do it on the mic. Come on, Jesus Christ.
So they flip it until it so it pops out.
Okay, I'm trying to understand. So basically, but it doesn't have. It's not like they do it like in 1 second and you're done. It's like over time it slowly rotates.
I don't know. My operation was 2 hours.
And then when you got out, you were done?
Well, I needed the bars in. I needed to keep them in for 3 years.
Okay, so yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's not something that you just go in, they fucking put these bars in, turn them, and then you walk out of there and it's all done.
Right, like you have to keep them in, you have to exercise and all this shit.
So it's kind of like, it's almost like braces, like over time. Okay, gotcha. So they fixed that. What did they do for the MD?
What
Can't they do anything for muscular dystrophy?
So for a while, I didn't know which kind I had.
Which kind of what?
What kind of MD I had. So there's there's hundreds of kinds of MD.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Dude,
The worst one is Duchenne, and the life expectancy is like 20, 21, 25. So with Duchenne, the worst one, you start seeing signs at like age 6. You're in leg braces by like age 10.
Yikes.
Then you're in crutches by like 12. Then you're in a wheelchair by 18.
And then you're dead.
Well, I mean,
fuck.
Yeah. So, and then the one I have is called, it's actually, for a while I didn't know which kind I had because I didn't care.
Interesting.
Because I knew there was no cure. So it's kind of like,
okay,
if I know something, it's going to like psychologically block me from doing stuff.
Dude, it's like, you've heard my dumb joke about an AIDS test. I say I won't. I've never had an AIDS test. I won't get an AIDS test till I know there's a cure. Because I'm like, what do I want to find out? I have AIDS and no hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess it's kind of like that.
Yeah. Well, now, when were you diagnosed that you had MD?
I was diagnosed at age 2.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure I've had it my whole life.
Yeah. Yeah.
My parents didn't know how long I was gonna live.
Damn. And I just for the listeners, and you said people do this all the time. I called it MS.
Yeah.
And you were like, it's not MS, it's MD. And and that's also the telethon Jerry Lewis always did, right? Muscular dystrophy.
Yep.
All right. Sorry, go on. So you diagnosed it too, but you didn't want to find out what specific you had.
Right. But then my mom lost her job, and we were going to lose insurance because I have a disability, so I'm on my parents' insurance for life. And but I was going to lose it. So she's like, we should get this done now, before we lose it. So we figured out it's called MST01. Okay. And she looked up these cases online of who has it, and they also had pectus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I guess it's a package deal. You
get a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
Now, so what are? Because I don't know. I mean, it's like I hear MS, I hear muscular dystrophy. I mean, even like Lou Gehrig's. I have a little idea of what Lou Gehrig's entails, but like I've heard of MS and I've heard of muscular dystrophy. But if you were to ask me, what are the symptoms or what does that mean when somebody has it? I have no fucking idea. So if you have muscular dystrophy, what is that?
I just say it makes me very weak. I have overall body weakness.
Gotcha. All right, that's an easy way to put it.
So the doctor in the beginning was like, you're weak, you can't really do anything.
What if you didn't have MD? He's just a real asshole. You're like, all right, man, fucking easy.
So he was like, you can't really do anything because you're really weak. So you can't really use your muscles. But if you overuse your muscles, you're going to destroy them.
Fuck. So, wow, that's a trip.
So, and then Yeah, I took he came across this study in Europe where this kid with MD took deflazacort and it was helping him,
Hmm.
right? And so it was Europe's version of prednisone.
Okay.
And so I started taking prednisone. I didn't feel like it was working, so I went off it. And then later I was like, actually, it was helping me because then I was strong. Then I got weak when I went off it. Then when I went back on it, I went on to deflazacort, which is what the kid was on. And the FDA didn't approve it yet over here in the States. So we were getting it from somewhere in India, I think.
Like illegally, so to speak, or
I
allegedly.
I don't know. We were getting it
Somehow you were getting it, but
Yeah,
it
I was
wasn't
getting
approved
it.
over here. All right.
Then the FDA approved it, and I was getting it. It was called Inflaza at the time.
Okay.
And then I was going to my hygienist, or I was going to the dentist, and my hygienist goes, "Hey, you're losing you have bone loss. If this keeps happening, like you're gonna lose teeth
What
if
the
it
fuck?
keeps going like this." So I didn't even think twice about it, but I told my mom, and she was like, "You should tell your doctor that, because it may be a side effect of," which it is. There was a side effect was to get prednisone, or not prednisone. One of the side effects was osteoporosis.
Oh shit. Okay.
But he, instead of taking it every day, he made me take it every other day, so that hopefully won't happen.
Okay.
Turns out it did happen. My doctor winged me off the drug, and yeah.
So you're
No.
not on any drugs now?
I'm not. Well, I'm on drugs to counteract prednisone
Gotcha.
for like old people.
Okay, gotcha. And you say you're weak all the time.
Yeah.
Is there also pain associated with it? Like, are you achy?
It's starting to get that way. So MST01, this is, I don't know, but it's a myopathy,
Okay.
not a dystrophy. It's weird, but a myopathy is under the umbrella of muscular dystrophy.
Interesting.
And I'm like, so it's muscular dystrophy.
Yeah.
And so a myopathy doesn't get worse. You have a baseline, and you have your weak days, and you have your strong days. And but a dystrophy slowly gets worse.
Okay.
But I feel like I'm still slowly getting worse.
Maybe it's just old age.
I mean,
Maybe getting older, you know. No, I mean,
at 32, 31.
well, I mean, fuck, as old age. Now, with what is the MST
MST01.
MST01, does that cut your life expectancy having that or no?
The doctor didn't say. So
and you were like, I'm not asking.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't really care to know much else about.
I got you. I get it. Now, with is your speech impediment caused by MD?
I think it is.
Really?
I really like. I mean, I think it is. It would make sense. I think. But I mean, they haven't told me.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. But okay, so now I just wanted to get all that because, like I was telling you, I don't have any fucking clue about.
In a way, neither do I. In a way, I kind of have Benjamin Button's disease, but it's slower. Because, like, with his disease, it was really fast.
Okay.
Right? I think it was fast.
Yeah.
And mine's just, like, slow. I'm slowly getting worse. As to him, it
slowly
was like,
getting older.
Yeah,
kind of like we all do.
Fuck. Yeah. God damn it.
You're like, every day I'm getting older. Oh, really? Yeah. It's just like Benjamin Button. No, I know what you mean though. It's so you think your health is declining a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh,
think
fuck.
So, yeah.
And dude, that's like, waking up sore every day. Fuck, man.
And like if I don't like drink water for a while, I can really feel it in my legs.
Really?
Yeah.
Like your calves?
Well,
Or
it's
what?
just stiff and hard to move and stuff. Like walking upstairs is the worst for me. Like if we played tag and you went up one stair, that was it. Like you would
you win.
You would win. I live upstairs. Like I live with my grandpa.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And I live on the second floor, which is cool because no one else is up there, and there's 3 other rooms up there. So it's like
That's dope.
Yeah, it's dope.
Except you have to go
Except
upstairs.
I have to go upstairs.
Yeah.
So when I go downstairs and I forget something, that's the worst.
I can just imagine you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. There was something you said that I wanted to fucking ask you about. Going back. So we're in Phoenix. Does the weather
Yes.
helps a lot, or can help or hurt?
It's gonna hurt. I'm going to Boise for Christmas. Oh my god, I'm gonna die.
So what do you do? I mean, is there anything you can like rub on yourself or?
Well, I have some jeans lined with flannel, so that's gonna help. I don't know, boots and shit.
Just keep your shit warm. Yeah, that's I mean, I have this knee is bad now, but for the longest my left knee, and I definitely would notice like cold weather, the arthritis in it would be worse.
Yeah, it's just
So we're like the same.
fucking close. Yeah, that's sometimes how I describe myself. Like I'm a fat person in a skinny person's body.
Jesus Christ. So rude.
Dude, you got fuck you. Dude.
Now you've been doing. I guess we'll just move on since you're going to be so hurtful. People are going to hate you on this podcast.
You're so fucking sensitive. You gotta
Yeah,
get
right?
over this shit.
Fuck. So you started comedy. You said 6.5 years ago.
Yeah, 6.5.
And have you ever gone out on the road doing stand up, or has it all been pretty local?
I've been to L.A. and Vegas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Where'd you perform
actually,
in Vegas?
I don't know, some dinky place.
Oh.
It was a contest, but I was like, hey, I'm coming through, and they put me up. And then there's also another place that did a class, and I think the graduates were doing a showcase.
Yeah.
And so they let me do that. Haven't done any clubs up there or anything. In L.A., actually, get this. In L.A., the first time I went up there, do you know Josh Martin? He used to work at the store.
I'm pretty sure I do. I know that name. Why can't I think of it? Yeah.
So I went up there with my friend Rob, maybe, Mike Dapper,
Yeah.
and Kevin Elliott.
Mike B. Dapper.
Mike B. Dapper, yeah. And we go up there, and I do the belly room. I do a joke about how I've never had a roomer, so I thought it would be interesting if I had a gay roomer. Like, this dude. And what I would do is I'd be like, I just agree with it. I'd be like, yeah, I suck dick every day. Like, if there's a dick within the vicinity of my mouth, I'm going to chomp it down or something.
Right.
And then they start chanting someone's name, Josh Martin.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, are they going to challenge me and be like, suck this dude's dick? like, prove it. That's no big deal. It turns out Josh Martin has a speech impediment.
Oh.
And so we battled.
They wanted you to roast battle?
Yeah, roast battle. And so he goes up and he's like, this guy's trying to steal my swag and he has a small dick and stuff. So it's my turn. And I just go, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, and by the way, they start chanting his name. They're like, you guys should battle, and you literally just start battling right then.
Yeah,
so you haven't
pretty
had time to. It's not like you've written out shit. They're just going out riffing, right?
Yeah, this is 2 years into comedy.
Oh man.
So I'm just like, what? And everyone goes crazy. And so depending on who you ask, like if you ask Rob and all of them, they're like, no, dude, you like got the biggest laughter. You won. But I take it as he left me speechless. So he won.
Okay.
But so I don't know who won, I guess.
What was your big laugh?
No, that was it. I was like, what? And then the crowd went crazy. So I didn't get anything. But Rob after was like, you know what you should have done? You should have been like, I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like my LA moment, I guess.
Nice. And now you're here, and what would you say is like your goals, like short term, long term, like with stand up?
Well, next year I want to get out to Vegas more because I know some people out there, so I want to just go out there and like stay with them and do mics and stuff. I mean, right now it's just a feature or open or host or something.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you done any of the clubs here in Phoenix?
I mean, I've done guest sets at House of Comedy.
Oh yeah, you said I took your guest spot.
Yeah, and then I did.
Were you supposed to do a spot?
Well, Steve said maybe. He said maybe.
Thanks.
No, he said he said he would put us both up. I'm not upset about it at all.
I mean,
Or
if
anything.
you were.
Yeah, you wouldn't give a fuck if you were. You'd be like, dude, get the fuck. But anyways, and then I opened for Jamie Kilstein at Tempe Improv.
Was that recently?
I was like in September.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Good.
Nice.
It was good.
When you opened, were you hosting or featuring?
Actually, it was 3 guest spots and then him,
Gotcha.
from what I understood.
Gotcha.
So there was a host. I was the first one after the host. And then, yeah.
Is that the biggest room you ever performed in?
Well, there's stand-up live.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've never, like, featured there or done a guest set there. I've done fucking New Faces.
At Stand Up Live?
Yeah.
I guess Tempe, or what's the biggest, I guess, audience you've ever performed for? Was that Stand Up Live?
Stand Up Live, yeah.
How'd the New Faces go?
I mean, I do good.
Oh.
Wait, what do you mean, how did it go?
How did it go?
It did
Jeez.
well.
All right.
I feel like
Cocky.
I
Holy
feel like
shit.
I answered your question, and you're like, wait a minute, that's not what I was asking.
I love how fucking riled up you get. And have
you just like roll it off like it's no big deal, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, I just I just did what you asked me to do.
You're like, it went good. I was like, whoa, Mr. Confident. No, are you regretting this podcast?
No, I haven't. No, I'm not regretting it.
And the CB Live mic here, that just started. It's pretty new, right?
Yeah, like end of summer.
So you've been coming here
like May
since it started,
April.
right? Would you say?
I don't know if I came to the first one,
but I mean, you're kind of a staple here.
Well, yeah, because I live in Mesa, and it's like an hour away.
I'd say there's a few of us that like what we call the after hours crew.
Yeah,
it's like me, you, Sid, Scott White.
Yep.
Who else? Is there anybody else that's like consistently?
I
I think Bill's gonna start hanging out
yeah.
too.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, I love that. That's like, so the mic runs from like what 7:30 to 9:30.
Yeah, 9:30, 10, somewhere around there. Actually, I think the first memory was I was talking to you after a mic, and then you guys were gonna come in here and drink and stuff or chill. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna leave, and you're like, no, come hang out.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of like,
dude, I love it. Like, so they do the mic runs till about 9:30, 10, and then we are here from 10 till usually 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And just telling stories and fucking war stories and you know, tagging people's shit up and
beat up on each other.
Yeah, that's my favorite shit. Like when I started in Boston, we had like there was Scotty Lombardo had a room in Charlestown called Tavern at the End of the World.
Yeah.
And it was like he used to give out sex toys at this open mic, and you'd have fucking just the most roughneck fucking dudes walking in and looking in at this open mic and just be like, who's this fucking queer, you know? And that was fucking great. And then when I was in Seattle, we used to hang out at the Underground afterwards, and then Tacoma Comedy Club opened up, and that became like the home club. And we had like a booth at the Tacoma Comedy Club, like in the very back of the room, that a few of us would always sit there and like, you know, shit on each other and fucking just hang out. And that's my favorite part, you know?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, dude, well, maybe next time stay till the end. And you with comedy, you fucking get, so you're like a fucking cocksman, right?
You mean it like where?
Ladiesman?
I mean, that's the word, I guess.
I like love how fucking.
I'm like you.
What do you
like
mean?
you told me after shows, you kind of like hanging, just going home, chilling, watching something, falling asleep.
Yeah.
You know, you don't chase after women or
Right.
anything after. I'm kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like if it presents me, cool.
Right.
That's awesome. But if I'm fine with just going home, I don't know, listening to music, writing more, or
Yeah.
just watching something.
Do you you don't have a girlfriend right now?
No.
Yeah, it's like have you ever dated a comic, or would you?
I've gotten close to comics. My I try not to,
Yeah.
but
What happened?
shit
Why didn't
you
it?
get close?
The guy turned you down, or what?
Fuck you.
He didn't know it was coming. So was he?
No, it's just I have a thing like with broken girls. Like I try and fix them or some shit.
Like physically?
No,
have
well,
something in common?
like they have issues, and I'm just like, oh, I'll be here for you and do this and that.
Interesting.
And so I try not to fall into that trap.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not gonna it doesn't work, and then I'm like, I'm never gonna do that again. And then I slowly fall into that trap, but I know I can identify the trap, and I try not to. I try to walk away, but then I slowly. Oh, I'll be here. I'll help you.
And you said you've been close to dating a female comic?
Not dating, but just close.
Banging?
One,
Is that what you mean, like hooking up?
one,
What?
One, yeah.
You did hook up with a female comic.
Yeah.
Fucking look at you, you scumbag. Fuck, I just had a good question I was going to ask you. God damn it. Oh, what's your kind of girl? What's your what's your type? Other than like I mean physically, not the broken. That's what you said,
Physically, you know what? I actually want to go out with a girl with the physical handicap.
Are you serious?
Like I want to try it. I've never tried it. So then I
Move
thought,
that closer. Move that mic closer.
thought, that'd be, but someone, not many like girls can make me laugh.
Oh yeah. And then the worst is if they're trying. Then like if they know you're a comic, then they're like, "Oh, I'm funny too," and you're like, "Oh, don't do that. Just fucking let it happen naturally if it happens."
Like if they try too hard, I'm like, stop. No, be like people expect comics to be on 24/7 sometimes.
Yeah.
And I feel like girls are like, oh, I gotta, try and make them laugh 24/7, and it's like, fucking be you.
Yeah, that's like my friend Danae. I've known Danae like 20 years. Really good friend of mine, and she's always like, I'm gonna put my time together. She's like, give me some time, Jay. I'm like, you're never gonna do it, Danae. She's like, fuck that. I'm funny. I can do it. I'm gonna put some bits together. I'm like, you will never do it.
Yeah.
So I hope she fucking listens to this and knows that I called her out.
I was gonna say it's funny because I think people meet me, and they find out I'm a comic, and they're like, you're fucking like you're not like I'm kind of serious in real life. Like I don't know why I said real life, but I mean when I'm not on stage.
Yeah.
And so like I'm not that funny.
Well, I mean you're
like
not
off
on.
stage,
It's fucking.
I'm not on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are like, you're fucking comic. Like you're not. You haven't even made me chuckle or anything.
Yeah.
So.
Be like, it's because I'm not working. If I was a brain surgeon, I wouldn't just be sitting there talking about brain surgery while I'm not at work all the time.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I think my ideal type. I think I should date like a nurse or a school teacher. I think that'd be my type.
I should probably date one of those.
Yeah.
A nurse.
Yeah. Yeah, you should. Fucking physical therapist.
Physical therapist. My friend was like, you know what, Justin? You gotta date a midget.
I don't think that's the proper term.
Well,
Jesus.
God damn it, dude, shut up. But
I didn't say it. You said it.
No, but you're making me feel bad. I fucking hate that.
Why? Because you just
like
said a
you
derogatory
haven't said
term?
that shit on stage.
I say little person.
Get the fuck out of here.
I have a video posted. All I say is little person. I'm going to call
That's
my friend Brad Williams.
You censor yourself because...
I don't know what you're talking
you
about,
know
bro.
they're going to be... fuck you. But
I'm going to use that. That's going to be the clip, right, by the way.
Or you're just going to cut out clips of this?
No, I'm going to say...
Look at what this guy said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Podcast.
The clip of this podcast will be of you saying that horrible M word. Go on.
But my friend was like, yeah, because you're like... She'll think of you as having a superpower because you can just get up and grab shit.
No. Oh, man. How do you feel? Now you say you live with your grandfather?
Yeah, my grandfather.
They're not together. Your grandfather and grandma.
My grandma passed away of. Actually, you mentioned Lou Gehrig's disease.
She had that?
She had ALS.
Holy shit!
She died about 20 years ago.
That shit is fucking rough.
Took her in like 6 months.
Fuck, dude. I have a buddy whose dad has it, and it's like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
That's like, I mean, the joke I do about my grandfather's Alzheimer's, I talk about how like there's a lot of diseases that are awful for the person and the family, you know, and that's one. Cancer's another one. Like everybody's going through it, you know, like or witnessing it. It's fucking rough.
When I was living in Vegas one time, and I was a substitute teacher's aide. So it was like a teacher's aide, but only a substitute.
Okay.
So it's tight because I could go online and choose my jobs.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I wasn't at one set school.
Yeah.
So I could choose. But anyways, I did a special school, and I realized, I looked around one day, and I realized like there's some people that had to be by the side of kids 24/7 because they would just hit themselves and stuff.
Oh fuck.
So that day I called my mom and I go, Mom, you're really lucky that I don't have a mild case of MD and I can like because I was like, you had a social life. Like there's some parents that had no social life. But then she flipped it and was like, well yeah, but that also could have been you.
Yeah.
Like you could have had no life.
You should make
at
fun
all.
of those kids.
Fuck you, dude. Always make me feel like shit. I hate you.
That's actually something I do on the podcast is I try and make people feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
or like
it's not just the podcast, though.
That's
it's
true.
Everyday life.
Yeah, that's true. That's accurate. Now so you live with is your mom still alive?
Yeah, my parents live in Tucson.
Oh, okay. All right. And so living with your grandfather, is that like to kind of help him out and then also...
No, he can do everything.
Oh, really?
Dude, he's fucking 91. He has a girlfriend at 91.
Holy shit.
God, dude. At 91.
You hear them banging?
No. No, but he can still drive. He still does stuff. He was in the music. He wasn't doing music, but he loved going to music like shows and stuff like that. So he went out like every night until he found his girlfriend.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
he was very active.
You're really close with him?
Kind of. I mean, ever since he got his girlfriend, he's kind of shifted
his
towards
attention
her.
There. Yeah.
So.
How old's his girlfriend?
85.
Oh, going for the youngins.
Yeah.
Dude, do you ever bring chicks back to the house?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. All right.
I mean, you know, as much as it happens, I guess it's not like I bring them home every weekend.
No, because I was raised by my grandparents and I bounced around a lot growing up between my mom, my dad, and my grandparents. But at my grandparents' house, like I never brought girls there. I remember like this girl I worked with. It was interesting. Like this lady I worked with. I think I lived in the basement.
Yeah.
And I had like the whole basement to myself, like you were saying. And I think we went down there. I think just went down there to grab something. And she went with me or whatever. We're probably gone 5 minutes. Came back, and I think it was my grandfather was like, he's like, you shouldn't do that. And I was like,
really?
Yeah, like don't bring a girl down there alone.
So so my grandpa was a general in the Air Force, and his girlfriend, who she was married, but he passed away. He was also in the Air Force.
Oh shit.
My grandpa is like, you need something to eat, get something to eat. You know, take whatever mine is yours.
Yeah.
And he's very lenient that way. She is. I have a feeling that her husband was more of a strict person.
Okay.
Because, I could see her doing what your grandpa did. But I mean, my grandpa's like, you know what, whatever. Like my friend had a sort of a rough weekend, and she was like, I need a place to stay, and she was like, can I come over? And I was like, yeah.
She guys
come over.
bang?
No. No, she's a Christian that like she's like I want to wait a while until I like want to like kiss someone or sleep with them or something like that.
Yes.
And I'm like, how long is a while? And she's like, about 6 months. I was like, what?
Yeah.
You wait that long?
You'd be like, here's your eviction notice.
Good
Get
luck.
the fuck out.
Good luck finding a guy that's gonna wait
6 months for a kiss?
Well, I don't know. No, just well, I mean, even probably not a kid, but like we were watching Elf, and like they're on a date and then they kiss, and she's like, oh, they kiss on the first like. Not everyone
She's
kisses.
freaking out.
Yeah, not everyone kisses on the first date. And I was like, what?
So, speaking of your man-whoring ways, I wanted you to tell the story that we were talking about the other night. Are you looking for your phone so you can read the... So, Justin did a show with a heckler. Do you need to get that so you can read it? Or do you remember?
But it's... Like, I have to get up. It's going to be a whole thing.
You want me to get it?
If you want to get it.
Or is it in your coat?
No, it's right there.
Oh.
It should.
We'll get to it in a sec.
Like,
it'll be a
I'm
whole
sunk
thing
in
for me to
into
get
this
up.
couch,
Yeah,
and
me
it's going
too.
to take me a while. Like, I feel like a child. Because I'm so sunk into this couch.
Well,
just like if I do this, that's awkward. Because like my hands at my face level and... Like it's just weird.
You're in your head. Okay, so tell the story about this chick that was at the show.
So I did a show, and this chick she wasn't heckling. She was just really loud.
Okay.
So I was talking. I did a joke about how what was the joke? Oh, about how I sometimes when I go into Pure One Imports, I think there's a big chance I'm gay, right? And I go like,
another gay joke.
Yeah.
Wow, you're homophobic.
And then I'm like, dude, I'm like 5 gay points away from sucking a dick. And then
again with the dick sucking.
And then she was like, that's all right. I'd rather do that. And I was like, okay, you like we talked about sucking dick or whatever. I enjoy sucking dick. I was like, all right.
You're saying that from the stage?
Yeah, from the stage.
Yeah.
And she's like
yelling
right where that chair is. No, like she's kind of close.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I enjoy sucking dick. And I was like, all right.
Show's over.
you can show me after the show. And so that got the biggest.
Yeah. Did she respond to that?
I forget what she said. And then the show, we went back and forth a little bit. Then I got back into my material, and she was still talking, and I was like, did you not, like, learn your lesson the first fucking time? Like, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm trying to tell a joke, and she's like, I know, it's a comedy show. I'm like, yeah, I'm in the fucking show. And then I said something like, you know what, I'd like to fuck you or something along those lines. And then she kept talking, and she had a high-pitched voice. And I was like, you know what? On second thought, I don't think I want to fuck. It'd like be having sex with a dog chew toy. Like I'd just be very fucking annoying. I'd have to wear like headphones or some shit. And so the crowd's going crazy because it's one of those shows where defeating a heckler is gonna do way better than your material. So, anyways, like my material didn't do that great, but that was the best part of it. And the thing was, do you know Michael Cohen? Michael Paul Cohen?
I think so.
He was the headliner, and he went up like 3 or 4 people after me. He was like, dude, I felt that, and I still felt that energy that you put out there. And there is no way I was going to match it. And so that made me feel good. But anyways, I guess after, she went up to the booker and was like, hey, do you have that guy's number? Like he's
meaning you.
Me. And he was like, go ask him. So she started talking to me and stuff. I didn't give it to her. But later during the, I was like, hey, Elise. And I do this thing where I don't ask for a number. I just give her my phone with the contacts thing open. So then she gave it to me.
Her name was Elise?
Yeah, her name was Elise. And while she handed me back my phone, she was like, I'm going to suck it real good.
Jesus Christ.
And so I was like, okay.
Dope.
The next day, I text her. I'm trying to figure out like where to meet her and shit. You know, and she first thing she said, she was like, "Oh, I thought I scared you off because I was so mouthy last night." And I was like, "No, you actually added to the show. Like you added to the show."
Oh God! First of all, I hate that you said that to her because
Why?
that just teaches her. Oh, so next time I go to a comedy show, this is good.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
But okay.
Go on.
Whatever.
Sorry.
So I'm trying to figure out where to meet her, 'cause she lives on the other side of town from me, and so I'm like, what about here? And fuck. I go, what about here? And she goes, no, that's too far. And then she recommends a place. I want to see what's over here.
You want me to get your phone?
And I go like, no, that's right. And I go, like to eat? Like you want to meet here to eat? And she goes, oh, sure. Like, I mean, cock is my favorite thing to put in my mouth. But I'll meet for a bite to eat. And I was like, wait, did you just want to meet, like, to suck my dick in my car? Like, is that what you're talking about?
And let me just say this for those listening or watching. Like, you've shown us the text. Like, how he's saying it is exactly how it went down in the text. You're like, oh, wait, you wanted to just suck my dick?
Yeah, I was like, so do you want to meet? You know, she goes like, sure, we can meet for food, and then I can munch on your cock later or something like that. And she's like, wait, do you really want to meet, or do you just want to get off? She's like, I'm just looking for honesty. There's no wrong answer. You don't have. I just wanted to make sure that you don't have to like buy me food to get your dick sucked. And so I mentioned a place, and she's like, so are you buying? And I was like, I can. And then later she said, do you want to meet up, or do you just want to get off? Because you don't have to take me to dinner. And so then I was like, I'll just eat beforehand then.
And so what'd she say to that? Okay, cool.
She said, okay, cool, and then I'll swallow your dick, after.
So you met up with her.
Well, I met up with her, but we were still trying to figure out where to go. And she was like, you can come to my salon. And I was like, what? She's a cosmetologist.
Okay.
And she has her own, like, salon. So I met her at her salon. She gave me a full body massage.
Oh, nice.
While I was naked and sucked me off after.
Fucking great.
And then there was a second time. It happened again.
Same girl?
Same girl. Yeah. But this time I had to, like, chase her kind of to get it. And I don't like chasing chicks. But it happened in my car. And it was weird because before she
Yeah, that was the weird part.
Well, dude, she took a bump of coke
Jesus.
in my car before
Jesus Christ.
Before she sucked my dick that time.
Do you do any drugs?
No. Well, no, I've done Molly. I've done weed, but
yeah.
I don't know who considers that a drug or not.
I'm like weed is the hardest thing I ever did. And yeah, it's like it trips me out how casual people are with like coke and stuff. Are you sore right now?
I mean, just like by holding this,
yeah,
like with a mouse.
Do you when you're on stage, do you get sore like standing for long periods of time?
No, that's actually what I prefer.
Really? Oh.
Because unless it's like something like this.
Yeah.
But if it's something like this, I'll just either sit on the arm, whatever.
Because getting up is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, getting up is.
You are like a fat dude.
Yeah. And then sometimes when there are certain chairs that like devil's advocate.
Yeah.
You know when you go to the bar, they have those chairs. Like
those are real low.
I sat in those and I couldn't get up.
Fuck.
So I don't sit in those anymore.
Now, in the 6.5 years you've been in stand-up, has anybody been a prick to you? Can't say me.
There was a chick, not a comic, I don't think, not a comic. There was a chick that she didn't mean to because she didn't know. But I was leaving the mic, and I was on one side of the lane in the parking lot, and she was on the other. And she was like, why are you walking slow? Because she wanted to...
If I was you, I would have loved somebody saying that because I would really make them feel like shit.
I want to now.
Yeah.
I actually wanted her to go to another show there and be like, "That's the guy.
Yeah.
This guy was walking slow in the parking lot," and I'd be like, "All right, can we talk about this later?" And then no one's going to be like, no, fuck you. Like, I want to put you on blast while you're on stage. And I'd just try my hardest, but you'd keep pushing. And I'd be like, I have a fucking disability.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, does that make you happy?
See, that's how you do it. You fucking make people feel bad. Use that shit.
Yeah, but I don't know. I hate using my disability as like an excuse.
No, not as an excuse. Use it though to make people feel like shit when they're assholes.
Yeah.
Who's in the 6.5 years you've been in stand up? Who's like some of the comics that have been cool with you, or helped you out, or?
There's this guy named Ian Gild. He moved up to New York. Rob maybe's been good. You've been good.
Yeah.
Bill Skowski's been good.
Fuck Bill.
Andy Steinberg.
Oh yeah, Andy.
He's been good. He's given me a lot of advice. Well, not a lot, but some that's like stuck with me.
What's the best advice you ever heard from whoever?
It would be Andy Steinberg. He gave me 2 things that always stuck with me. He said, there's some people that think comedy is like a ladder, like there's only one way you do certain things. And he's like, no, think about it this way. If I called up my friends and said, I'm buying lunch, we're going here, meet here at 12. Like, everyone's going to take their own route.
Yeah.
No one's going to take the same thing.
Yeah.
But in the end, they're all going to get to that one destination.
Yeah.
And then he also said, think of comedy as like a do-over. Like, you talk about a situation, but you say what you wish you did.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have a lot of those moments because I don't like confrontation. Because I have a fear of like saying something and someone's gonna like rush me while I'm on stage.
I've had that.
And like what the fuck? Because I think people are gonna look at me and be like, oh, he's skinny strong, to where he looks skinny, but he's still kind of strong. Have you ever met those like skinny people? Yeah, except I'm what you get. Like, there's no tricks up my sleeve. Like, I'm a skinny.
You should start carrying a gun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I could lift one.
Just shoot yourself in the foot. Oh, fuck.
So, what about you? Best piece of advice?
I think I've told you it before. I say it all the time. When someone asks you who's your favorite comic, if you are not your own favorite comic, change your act.
Did you tell me that?
Yeah.
I thought someone else. Okay.
I told you that.
I like that. Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, you hear different shit through the years. Like, you know what it like motivates me or keeps me going, so to speak, is a lot of it is stories of comics or entertainers or whatever that were like at their lowest, and then the break happened.
Yeah.
Like Billy Gardell. Have I told you this story?
No, I don't think
This is a fucking great story. So my buddy, and I confirmed it to Billy Gardell. Like I used to write on this game show, and Billy was on it a lot. And I asked him if this story was true, and he said it's 100% true. So my buddy Sean used to book shows in Bend, Oregon.
Yeah.
And this weekend, this is probably 10 or more years ago, Billy Gardell's in for the weekend. He's doing press in the morning on Friday morning. And then he gets done with press, and he says to my buddy Sean, he goes, yeah, man, after this weekend, I'm done. And my buddy Sean's like, what do you mean? He goes, shit's just not happening. He's like, I got family and stuff, so I think he's from Chicago. He's like, I'm going to move back there and I guess just be a cop, And my buddy Sean's like, fuck, all right. About 2 hours later, Billy calls my buddy Sean. He's like, dude, I am so sorry, but I have to cancel. I can't do the shows. He goes, I got a callback on something. I don't know what's going to happen, but I got to go right now to this callback. And it was for Mike and Molly.
Really?
Yeah. And then then from there, he's set for life.
Oh, Billy's the main character. Is
yeah,
he the...
Billy Gardell and Mike and Molly.
I don't. Sorry, man.
Way to ruin the story. Jesus Christ. Or Chaz Palminteri, you know who that is?
No.
Have you seen the movie Bronx Tale?
Yeah, a long time ago, though.
So the guy that plays the main mob boss, that's Chaz. He's an actor, too. But, I mean, he's been in other shit. But he wrote that movie. This is another one of those stories. He wrote that movie, and he was shopping it around. And he was just like a small-scale actor, barely getting by. He's shopping this script for a Bronx Tale. People like, I want to buy the script. And he's like, okay, cool. can I play the mob boss? And they're like, no, we're going to recast it. And he's like, well, I can't sell it to you. This is my dream role, my thing. Keeps chopping around. He gets up to where I believe somebody offered him $200,000 to just buy the script. And he's like, can I play the mob boss? No, we're going to recast it. So if I remember the story right, he like is in the middle of this meeting. He's like, can I have a minute? And he goes in the bathroom and he's like looking in the mirror to himself. And he's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Your family is struggling. You need this money. But he's like, fuck, this is my dream. This is my dream, right? So he turns them down. Robert De Niro gets the script, reads it, and contacts him and says, hey, I want to produce this movie. I want to make this movie. And so, of course, he's like, fuck, it's Robert De Niro. Yeah. He's going to want to play the mob boss. So he asks him, he's like, can I play the mob boss? And he's like, sure, I'll just play the bus driver. And it gets fucking made. Driver? That's what he did. He played the dad who was a bus driver in the movie.
That's great.
And but it's the stories like that I'm just like, you know, you never fucking know what's going to be like the thing that breaks, you know?
The only one I know of is Louie CK.
And what's that story?
He did Acme, and he was about to quit because he wasn't making Acme Comedy Club in Minnesota. And
keep going.
Yeah, and then because I have some friends that worked at Acme, and they're like, Louie CK was about to quit, but he did Acme, and he didn't do great, but he was consistent, and I think he sold out every show. And Louis, the manager at Acme, handed Louie CK with a check that was $10,000, I think.
Yeah.
At the and so CK was like, "Wait, I don't deserve this." And Louis is like, "Sure you do. You're consistent. I mean, yeah, maybe it wasn't the best you ever did, but you're consistent and you brought people in." Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's did you see that in that documentary? You've Got to Kill.
Oh no, but I've seen that.
That's a great documentary.
Oh my god, I saw it because Tom Segura is my favorite.
Is that your favorite
I
comic?
love Tom. I've seen him. So did you know Stand Up Scottsdale?
Yeah.
Ever since I saw Tom there, I've seen him every year. He's come here.
He's great.
And it was weird because the first time he went to Stand Up Live after Stand Up Scottsdale, I went and I go, "Hey man, great set." And he goes, "I remember you," which was cool. He was the first comic that remembered me.
Oh shit.
So.
Okay, so we'll go with this. Who would you put in? By the way, have you seen the documentary When Stand Up Stood Out?
No.
You should see that. It's about the Boston comedy scene in the 80s. It's
okay, is it on Netflix?
That or Amazon Prime, but it's like Stephen Wright, Bobcat Goldthwait, Dennis Leary, Lenny Clark, fucking all these DJ Hazard, all these fucking great dudes. Well, obviously Tom Segura is going to be up there. Who's like your top three? Or no, I'll ask you like I've asked other people. Who would you put on your Mount Rushmore of comedy?
I was just thinking.
Now, before you answer, it doesn't have to be limited to stand-up. Just like Mount Rushmore of comedy. Like on my Mount Rushmore, I would have Johnny Carson as one of my people on the Mount Rushmore of comedy.
Let's see. Yeah, so it's Tom Segura would be one of them. Chappelle, Bill Burr. So whenever I think the comics to watch to like kind of learn about stand-up, because comics watch other comics and they might mimic them. So I always say you should watch Burr and Chappelle because it seems like they're just being themselves. So even if you mimic them, you're being you, I feel like, in a way.
I mean, unless you like, I don't know, man. You like just start sounding like Chappelle.
So it'd be Tom Segura, it'd be Burr, it'd be Chappelle. I love Chris Porter.
Chris Porter's great. I love Chris.
Chris Porter's awesome. Oh man, Todd Barry? I like Todd Barry.
Great. His crowd work thing is so great.
Best special.
Is that your favorite special?
I've seen his other specials, and I like, his crowd work one.
That's I love that he's just so like subdued.
Yeah.
Low energy.
Mike Birbiglia.
Oh yeah.
I just saw his new special. It's great. I love My Boyfriend's Girlfriend or My Girlfriend's Boyfriend.
Yeah.
That was a great one. So is that 4?
I mean, yeah, it's more than 4, but that's fine. Burr, Chappelle,
How many's
Segura.
on Mount Rushmore? 4?
Yeah.
Right. I like Gary Goldman.
Great dude. Did you see his new one? His Depression,
I
The
did
Great
not.
Depression.
I love Tig.
Finally a lady. Jesus.
Fuck you.
I'd put. I think I said in mine, and I still haven't formed it fully, but I said Johnny Carson. I'd put Joan Rivers up there, just for like what everything she did in comedy, like fearless. Probably one of the most fearless comics ever, especially for like the time she was doing it and as a woman, and just a crusher. I'd put Patrice up there.
Oh, Patrice. Yeah. Moranzio Vance. I like Moranzio.
Moranzio's great. You know, Moranzio used to open for Patrice.
Yeah, you or Casey have told me the story twice.
That's me.
About how Patrice was like,
yeah, you'll be right.
Yeah, this is our last,
yeah,
our last road together, and Vance is like, what? Like, do I suck?
Yeah.
And then Patrice is like, no, you want to be a headliner.
Yeah, and you should. Yeah. That's Moranzio's story. It's great. All right, so what's as we wrap this up, where can everybody follow you?
Facebook.
Cripple Threat.
No.
That's the guy from AGT.
Oh yeah, I met that guy.
Did you?
Yeah, he was at House of Comedy.
Yeah.
Like a month ago or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
He did good. He got a standing ovation.
Nice.
Sold out. I only went to one show, and he sold it out.
Nice.
And so it's good to see that. I always like to see what are their handicaps and how they.
Jesus.
What do you want me to say? Are there?
I'm fucking with you. You can say whatever you want.
I actually call them handies.
You know, my buddy from Ireland, my buddy Ray, my old roommate Ray Breen, he used to say capper. Oh, he's a fucking copper. I'm like, a capper? You know, like a handicapper.
Oh, yeah, capper. But, Facebook, Justin Tietjen. My last name is spelled Tietjen. Instagram is Justin_Tietjen, I think. Or maybe it's just Justin Tietjen.
Jesus Christ.
Same with
you don't
Twitter.
even know your own fucking... are you one of those people that has, like, multiple different logins for the different ones?
No. They're mostly the same. I mean, I have 2 Instagrams, one for comedy and one for photography.
You do photography?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's why I did Big Pine twice. Like, I shot it twice.
Do headshots?
I mean, I can.
That's not very confident. What's your website?
My website's justintiejen.com.
All right. You got to get a better, easier to spell.
I was thinking about that. Like,
Justin T Comedy. Or Justin,
Justin the Crip.
What's up, cuz? Crippin' ain't easy.
So yeah, that's where everyone can find me. I'm the most on Instagram.
Okay.
I hardly do. I have a Twitter account. Hardly do that.
I'm same. Yeah.
Like
Twitter. Instagram's number 1, then Facebook, then Twitter.
Yeah.
Do you have anything? This comes out Wednesday, so do you have any shows this week?
Yeah, I have a rooftop show at the Clarendon Hotel.
Ooh, fancy.
On Saturday, I think.
If I don't have anything, I'll come hang.
Okay. Their cover's like $20, I think.
Fuck you.
I don't know.
I ain't paying no fucking cover to come watch you. Then I ain't going.
I'm the same. I'm the same.
Boo.
Like, why don't you come see me? If I can't get in for free, I'm not gonna. I hate saying that, but that's
yeah. Dude, I would never. If I told a comic like, "Hey, come hang," I would never expect them to pay.
And I've seen this guy on Instagram, the guy that's gonna run it. He's been on other shows, and there's been like ass clappers and twerkers and.
Oh, maybe
I
will pay 20.
It's like a show. Like from what I could tell, it's like a show.
Invite your dick sucking friend.
I don't know. She's a single mom. She probably has her kid. Dude, those are where it's at. If you want to hook up, find a single mom.
Kids? Oh.
No, fuck you. A single mom. Because, like, dude, it was like she was performing an exorcism on me through my dick.
All right.
And that's how she was getting the spirit out. Like, she was really fucking working it.
Okay, I just wanted to your plugs. Now we're getting really disgusting. I mean, I have respect for women, so maybe I'll edit that out.
You piece of shit.
As you guys know, I'm at Big Irish J on everything. This week, I don't know yet, but I may be picking up some spots here in the Phoenix area. You can go to bigirishj.com and check my shows calendar. I updated the website, and so next week I'm going to be in Florida and Miami. Weekend after that, I'm going to be in Vegas, and then I'm going to be in Vegas for like 3 weeks.
What are you doing in Vegas?
I'm doing Kimmel's. I'm doing Stratosphere. I'm doing the LA Comedy Club at the Stratosphere, and I'm doing Brad Garrett's.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, bigirishj.com, Big Irish J on everything. Thanks, Justin.
Well, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Okay.
Bye.